Achieving net zero buildings is a significant challenge and one that we cannot afford to overlook if we want to reduce the world's carbon emissions and limit irreversible changes. Landlords and owners are under increasing pressure to upgrade their stock to be competitive in the current occupier market. The technology that we need to make our buildings operationally net zero is there already. Those that fail to act now will find themselves facing a tsunami of legislation later. The only way really is to build resilience in your business model, and that process needs to start right away. Our own research has shown that across Europe, an estimated 7 trillion euros could be needed to retrofit buildings to comply with ESG requirements. But what we know is that every building is unique, and repurposing strategies need to take into account a number of parameters beyond the technical specification. For example, what type of occupier is that building going to serve? Or how much rent are they going to be prepared to pay? There's a necessity, in addition, to consider the whole life cycle of an asset when we think of net zero. While we can be operationally low in emissions, our buildings are full of embodied carbon, and this is where the focus of legislation will be in the future. Now, most of the buildings that will remain in 2050 have already been built. That's a stat that gets thrown around a lot. What that means is that every intervention that takes place from now is critical and must assess the balance between embodied and operational carbon. Real estate is one of the sectors that can make one of the biggest impacts in perhaps the shortest amount of time. So this is a time for decisive action, and organizations that take on this challenge will define the future of our industry.